What if I told you that Johnny Depp just dropped a hint so unexpected, it could completely change the way we see his next chapter? It almost sounds unreal, right? But the truth is, whenever Johnny makes even the smallest move, people around the world sit up and pay attention. It could be something as simple as a casual remark in an interview, a subtle gesture on stage, or even the way he phrases a sentence. Fans and media alike will read between the lines, trying to figure out what he really means. That's just the kind of presence Johnny has, mysterious, magnetic, and endlessly fascinating. Now, let's get real for a second. If you've ever wondered, what's next for Johnny Depp after everything he's been through? You're definitely not alone. That's the question millions of people have on their minds. And today, we're going to dive deep into the subtle but jaw-dropping clue he just left behind. This isn't just a random slip of words. It feels intentional, and when you connect it to everything he's been doing recently, the bigger picture starts to make sense. By the end of this, you'll see Johnny's future in a whole new light, and maybe even feel a little more excited about where he's headed. So stay with me, because what's coming might surprise you more than you expect. Johnny Depp has always been unpredictable. That's one of the reasons fans love him so much. You never know what he's going to do next. Sure, he's best known as an actor, but that's only one piece of who he is. He's also a musician, a painter, a director, and above all else, a storyteller. His creative energy refuses to stay boxed into one category. And recently, he gave fans a subtle but powerful signal that his next chapter isn't going to look anything like the past. During a recent appearance, Johnny casually mentioned New Horizons and a story yet to be told. To most people, that probably sounded like a poetic choice of words, something you might easily overlook. But longtime fans? They caught it instantly. They know Johnny rarely says things without meaning. Words like that don't just slip out. They're intentional. And if history tells us anything, when Johnny drops a hint like this, it usually points to a big project on the horizon. So, what exactly could New Horizons mean for him? Let's break it down. This isn't just about another blockbuster movie. Johnny's been stepping into so many creative worlds lately, painting, music, art exhibitions, and even hinting at directing again. He's already said in the past that he doesn't just want to be remembered for big Hollywood films. He wants to leave behind something more personal. Something that really reflects who he is as an artist. And these recent hints fit perfectly with that vision. It could mean a new film he directs himself. It could be a music project. Or it could be something totally unexpected, something that combines all of his passions into one powerful statement. Of course, not everyone sees it that way. A lot of people assume Johnny is finished. They look at the chaos he went through over the past few years, the endless headlines, the controversies, the personal struggles, and they decide it must be the end. But here's the truth, Johnny Depp has always thrived when people underestimate him. Think about it. How many times has he come back stronger just when people thought he was done? That's been the pattern throughout his career. He doesn't just return quietly, he reinvents himself in a way no one saw coming. This moment feels no different. And if you connect the dots, it all starts to make sense. He's been working on European film projects, stepping away from the traditional Hollywood machine. His art exhibitions have sold out worldwide, with collectors and fans rushing to grab his work. His music collaborations have taken off, reminding people that he's as comfortable with a guitar in his hands as he is on a movie set. These aren't random moves. They're deliberate. They're pieces of a bigger plan. And this clue he just dropped? It feels like the opening page of that plan finally turning. Now, here's where things get even more fascinating. People close to Johnny have often said he doesn't like to play it safe. He prefers projects that scare him, that push him out of his comfort zone. That right there is a massive hint. When artists of his caliber talk about the next story, they don't usually mean a single role or one-off project. They're usually pointing to something transformative. Something that changes the way people see them, and maybe even the way they see themselves. Look at his past collaborations in music. At first, some people thought they were just side projects. But they weren't. They were stepping stones. They were ways for Johnny to stretch, to explore, to prepare for something bigger. He's been testing boundaries, blending music and performance, experimenting with storytelling in new forms. And it all feels like practice for a bigger reveal. Here's a little pro insight: Johnny has always loved mixing worlds. He's never been content staying in one lane. Don't be shocked if his next chapter isn't just about acting or music, but a blend of everything he's passionate about: film, art, music, all fused together into something bold and unexpected. That's exactly the kind of move that feels authentically Johnny. Now, let's pause and imagine for a second. If Johnny Depp could completely reinvent himself with no limits, no rules, and no Hollywood expectations holding him back, what would you love to see him do next? Would you want another iconic movie role? A world music tour that lets him connect directly with fans? Maybe a massive art project that travels the globe, showing a side of him most people never get to see? Just picture that for a moment. The possibilities are endless. And that's what makes this so exciting. We don't know exactly what's coming, but we know it won't be ordinary. Whatever Johnny does, it's going to be unexpected, it's going to be bold, and it's going to remind people exactly why he's been able to hold the world's attention for decades. He has that rare quality: no matter what he does, people care. People want to know. People want to see. And this next chapter? It's not just going to be a return. It's going to be a reinvention. The hint he dropped, those words about new horizons and a story yet to be told, that's just the beginning. It's a seed planted for something bigger that's still growing in the background. And when it finally comes to light, it could easily redefine the way we think about Johnny Depp, not just as an actor, but as a creator in every sense of the word. So here's my question for you: what do you think his next chapter should be? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to see how you imagine his future. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to check out the other video where we explore Johnny's most personal confession yet. You don't want to miss it. Before you go, don't forget to hit that like button if this got you excited about what's coming, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with a friend who's just as curious about Johnny's journey. Because one thing is for sure: whatever happens next, it's going to be unforgettable.